that US continues to import from Russia. NSA Ajit Doval is in Moscow amid US tariff threats. Doval has visited Russia amid the biggest Trump-India flashpoint. Self-declared Khalistan embassy exposed in Canada. Bangladesh to hold national elections in February 2026, first major poll since mass uprising overthrew government last year. Flash flood fury disaster sends national shock waves, 5 dead, many missing after cloud burst in Uttarakhand. Continuous rain and landslides hinder rescue operations. We're tracking the top story of the hour for you. US President Donald Trump has said that he had no knowledge that Washington imports chemicals and fertilizers from Russia. Now, Trump's statement came after India said that US continues to import from Russia uranium hexafluoride for its nuclear industry, fertilizers, as well as chemicals. Now, when asked by a reporter whether US imports chemicals and fertilizers from Russia, of course, Trump said that he was unaware. Now, the comment came a day after Trump said that the United States would, quote-unquote, substantially raise tariffs on India over its purchase of Russian oil. Let's in fact listen in to what the US president had to say.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
India says that the U.S. imports Russian uranium, chemicals, fertilizers, while criticizing their energy imports. Your response to that, sir?
I don't know anything about it. I'd have to check, but we'll get back to you on that.
Well, with our shifting tracks to other stories, Brazilian President Lula da Silva has turned down his US counterpart Trump's offer to call him anytime to discuss tariffs, saying that Rio de Janeiro would instead use all available resources, including the World Trade Organization, also known as the WTO, to defend its interests. Now, bilateral tensions between Washington and Rio de Janeiro have recently escalated following the United States' decision to slap a 50% tariff on Brazil to fight what Trump has in fact called a witch hunt against former President Jair Bolsonaro, who is on trial in fact on charges of plotting a coup against his election loss in 2022. Now, the Brazilian leader said that he would not call Trump to discuss the tariffs because the US leader does not want to talk, and also added, and I quote, that I will call Xi Jinping, I will call Prime Minister Modi, I won't call Putin because he cannot travel now, but I will call many presidents. Let's in fact listen in to what he had to say.
Eu, vocês pensam, eu não vou ligar para o Trump para comercial não, porque ele não quer falar. Mas pode ficar certo, Marina. Eu vou ligar para o Trump para convidá-lo para vir para a COP, porque eu quero saber o que ele pensa da questão climática. Vou ter a gentileza de ligar. Vou ligar para ele, vou ligar para o Xi Jinping, vou ligar para o primeiro-ministro Modi, vou ligar. Só não vou ligar para o Putin, porque o Putin não está podendo viajar. Mas vou ligar para muitos presidentes. Eu quero ver.
Well, with our shifting tracks to other stories, amid stiffening ties between United States and India over Russian oil imports, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval arrived in Moscow for a visit aimed at strengthening ties between Russia and India. Well, although the visit had already been scheduled in advance, it is now renewed urgency because of the United States' Donald Trump's comments regarding India's relationship with Russia. Well, of course, it's a crucial development coming in from Moscow, of course, where Ajit Doval is currently present. Well, with our shifting focus to other stories, Trump has said that tariffs on pharmaceutical imports could reach 250%, the steepest rate he has proposed for the sector. Now, Trump, who in July threatened 200% duties, wants to motivate drug companies to move operations to the United States. Several industry giants like Johnson & Johnson have announced that United States investment plans this year in a bid to build goodwill. But the complexity of supply chains means that companies' moves are unlikely to reduce US resilience on foreign sources, well, as per reports. Trump's latest threat comes as a major drug firm reports earnings this week. Pfizer raised its profit outlook on Tuesday despite looming tariffs, with the CEO hopeful that the duties will start out small. Well, NDTV profit brings us more on this.
US President Donald Trump has announced that the new tariffs on pharmaceutical imports will be coming within the next week or so, and this is the part of its bigger plan to bring manufacturing back to US and target key economic sectors. Now he says that they'll start with an initially small tariff, and then within 1 to 1.5 years they're going to move it, or it is projected to soar to 150%, and then eventually rapidly jump to 250%. What is the clear goal behind it? Simple: to force pharmaceutical production directly onto American soil. So this is his clear goal. This move follows Trump's recent blunt warnings to major pharmaceutical companies to either drastically cut costs or face unspecified penalties. It also comes after a May executive order aimed at tackling the US high drug costs, which the White House claims are 3 times higher than other developed markets. So lastly, if you see, so this new plan, to put higher tariff on imported medicines means a huge change, and it could really mix up how drug companies make or move their products around the world, and it might affect how much medicines the overall it cost.
Well, with that, shifting focus to other stories, India and Philippines announced an upgraded strategic partnership with particular focus on deepening defense and maritime cooperation as both countries seek to navigate their security concerns due to China's increasing assertiveness in the Indo-Pacific region. Now, the announcement followed by talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and visiting Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Of course, this development comes right after that. Now, 13 agreements were signed, including 3 in defense sector. President Marcos, on his 5-day visit to India, said the two countries had agreed to continue leveling up collaboration in defense and security. He also noted that this would be the 5th strategic partner of the Philippines. Now, take a look at some of the significant takeaways so far.
Friends by choice, partners by destiny. India and the Philippines' ties have entered a new era, signaling a major diplomatic shift in the Indo-Pacific. Amid China's growing influence in the region, the two countries upgraded ties to a strategic partnership. The goal? To counter Beijing's aggressive tactics in New Delhi and Manila's backyard. On his maiden visit to India, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. held bilateral talks with Prime Minister Modi and Foreign Minister Jaishankar, inking 9 key pacts. Amid Trump's tariff threats, New Delhi and Manila also launched talks on a bilateral preferential trade agreement.
मजबूत हो रहे रक्षा संबंध गहरे आपसी विश्वास का प्रतीक है। मैरीटाइम नेशंस के रूप में दोनों देशों के बीच मैरीटाइम कोऑपरेशन स्वाभाविक भी है और आवश्यक भी।
Prime Minister Modi and I have committed to bring our collaboration to bear on shared concerns: a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific region, security and rule of law in the maritime commons, supply chain resilience, food security, countering terrorism, and other traditional and non-traditional threats.
Yet, there was more to this visit. India and the Philippines conducted their first joint naval exercises in the South China Sea, with Chinese Navy ships lurking in the shadows. While China accused both countries of undermining regional peace and stability, India made its position clear.
Our position on the South China Sea is clear and consistent. We consider the South China Sea as a part of global commons, and we support freedom of navigation and overflight in the region and legitimate commerce through the waters of the South China Sea.
Both New Delhi and Manila face territorial disputes with Beijing. India has also supplied its BrahMos supersonic cruise missile systems to Philippines and is having talks on submarine infrastructure. As the Indo-Pacific heats up, New Delhi and Manila are charting a new course together. Disha Bagchi for NDTV.
Well, with our shifting tracks to other stories, just as India and Canada were making cautious moves to improve strained ties, visuals of an embassy of the Republic of Khalistan on Canadian soil have risked derailing hard-earned diplomatic progress. A symbolic embassy of Khalistan set up in Surrey has reignited tensions between India and Canada, even as the CSIS warns of Khalistani extremists operating on Canadian soil. Well, my colleague Maha Siddiqui brings us the details.
Yet another attempt to stir a controversy and to derail the efforts by India and Canada to improve the ties, a placard of a self-proclaimed embassy of the Republic of Khalistan came up in a Gurudwara in Surrey in British Columbia. This is the same Gurudwara, Guru Nanak Sikh Gurudwara, that was led by separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, and in fact Hardeep Singh Nijjar was gunned down in the parking lot of this Gurudwara. This had led to the downward spiral in which the India-Canada ties went into, with the then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accusing India of being behind the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, which India had flatly denied. Now, the two sides have tried to overcome that situation, and the diplomatic friction that was created because of the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar after 2 years, when Prime Minister Mark Carney and Prime Minister Narendra Modi met on the sidelines of the G7 summit in Kananaskis in Canada and decided to take the ties one step at a time in trying to improve them. Now, this irritant of Khalistan has once again emerged with this placard that has come up in the Gurudwara. This has been a matter of concern for India, and India has raised this issue several times with Canada, saying that it provides space for the separatist movement to grow in Canada, and this is a matter of concern for India. In fact, for the first time ever in Canada, this category was termed extremist by a report that was put out by the Canadian Security and Intelligence Service, the CSIS, that expressed concern about the activities of the Khalistani separatists, saying that they were raising funds on Canadian soil, and also operational planning was being done by the Khalistani separatists to create or carve out a separate state for themselves from the Indian state of Punjab. Now, this current situation is also concerning because this placard has come up on a community center in the premises of the Gurudwara, and it is believed that the community center received funds from the provincial government. So this is a clear misuse of the state funds as well, the funds, public funds rather, that were granted to this Gurudwara for religious activities and purposes. In Vancouver, this is Maha Siddiqui for NDTV.
With our shifting tracks to other stories, Britain said that it will begin implementing a deal to return some migrants who arrive on small boats to France within days, a key part of its plan to cut illegal migration after a treaty on the arrangement is ratified on Tuesday. With that, we're slipping into a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Whether you're setting up a new nest, starting your own flock, or they just keep on growing, get more time to pay with VeryPay. You can buy now and pay up to 12 months later, and pay no interest, with nothing to pay at checkout. And you can easily keep track of payments in the Very app. More time to pay with VeryPay.
With Post Office Over 50s life cover, enjoy peace of mind knowing your family will receive a guaranteed payout when you're gone. UK resident 50 to 80, you're guaranteed acceptance. No health checks and from just £1.15 a week. Plus free 24/7 GP access with the health and wellbeing benefit. Purchase and receive a £125 gift card for amazon.co.uk, Tesco or M&S. Call Post Office on 0800 171 2211.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
We all know animals have feelings. They depend on kindness, just like you and me. So imagine how they feel when they're beaten, starved, and unloved. Every minute, the RSPCA is called on to save animals in physical agony and mental torment. It's unbearable to see the pain in their eyes. We refuse to give up on them, but to rescue them from a life of fear, we urgently need animal lovers like you to donate today. Please call 0800 121 4260 or text KIND to 84903 to give £2 a month to the RSPCA. Your gift will help fund more life-saving rescues, more emergency treatment, and more gentle rehabilitation. Every month, you'll be helping to keep animals free from pain and sadness, so they can find the comfort and joy they deserve. Right now, across the country, thousands are suffering deliberate harm. But together, we can show animals what kindness feels like. Together, we can rescue them. So please, call 0800 121 4260, text KIND to 84903, or visit our website to start your monthly donation today. Thank you.
Get that lucky cow feeling with luckycowbingo.com/bingo, the site that's bursting with beautiful bingo games. That's luckycowbingo.com/bingo.
Welcome back. You're watching NDTV. Bangladesh will hold its first election since protests toppled its former Prime Minister next February, the country's interim leader said on the anniversary of Sheikh Hasina's overthrow. Now, Mohammad Yunus made this statement on the day at the end of the celebrations for what some have called the country's second liberation. Let's in fact listen in to what he had to say.
এবার আমাদের সর্বশেষ দায়িত্ব পালনের পালা, নির্বাচন অনুষ্ঠান। আজ এই মহান দিবসে আপনাদের সামনে এই বক্তব্য রাখার পর থেকেই আমরা আমাদের সর্বশেষ এবং সবচেয়ে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ অধ্যায়ে প্রবেশ করব। আমরা এবার একটা নির্বাচিত সরকারের কাছে দায়িত্ব হস্তান্তরের প্রক্রিয়া শুরু করব। অন্তর্বর্তী সরকারের পক্ষ থেকে আমি প্রধান নির্বাচন কমিশনারের কাছে চিঠি পাঠাবো, যেন নির্বাচন কমিশন আগামী রমজানের আগে 2026 সালের ফেব্রুয়ারি মাসে জাতীয় নির্বাচন অনুষ্ঠানের আয়োজন করেন।
Well, we've our colleague Saurabh Gupta joining us on the telecast to bring us more on this story. You know, Saurabh, it's an extremely crucial update coming in from Bangladesh, of course. I mean, Mohammad Yunus has announced the national elections that were, of course, scheduled to be held in April. They've been preponed due to Ramzan. Now, walk us through what exactly is the politics in the region looking like?
Well, there was demands from several political parties in Bangladesh to bring forward the date of the elections. April was too far off and seen as a delaying tactic by the interim government. There were demands to hold it December, but February seems to be the consensus date as far as elections are concerned. Mohammad Yunus has said that the interim government is bringing the process of handing over power to an elected government with a mandate forward, and of course elections will be held in February and concluded before Ramzan. That's important because the Awami League, of course, which was overthrown, will not be contesting the elections. It's been banned. The other parties seem okay with that date. Only the Jamaat was one force which did not want the elections that early. But otherwise, everyone seems to be on board. And India will be watching the developments very closely to see who becomes the next Prime Minister of Bangladesh and how India can work with Bangladesh as they are our immediate neighbor. And the ties between the Yunus-led interim government and India have been particularly strained. So there is hope for improvement if perhaps the new government in Bangladesh takes charge and works on the India-Bangladesh bilateral relationship.
Really, Saurabh, thank you so much for joining us and sharing those details with us. While shifting focus to other stories, this time to another neighbor of India. When the Taliban seized power in Afghanistan in 2021, they quickly set about implementing a dizzying array of restrictions for women. No visiting parks or gyms, no eating in restaurants, no working except in very few professions, and no education beyond primary school. With girls banned from high school and universities, many are turning to religious schools known as madrasas instead. The only other option they have is to learn online. Well, Afghan women could do little but watch as their country's government, in fact, the new Taliban government, impose a stranglehold on women's lives.
The main goal was to try give back to the community, especially to the Afghan women, what I had received from the other people, for free. I think sharing knowledge is something good. I believe this sharing knowledge is what makes a real difference to someone. Like if I learn something and if I don't share it, and then sometimes I pass away and then I get all the knowledge that I have with me to the other world, okay? And if I share it, it just go and expand, and then there's more people to know things.
Well, with our shifting tracks to other stories, in a stunning revelation in outplacement firm's analysis shows that over 10,000 jobs were lost in July alone, directly linked to the rise of generative AI system. Well, NDTV World's Vishal Vivek shed light on the story with this special report. Take a look.
Artificial intelligence is no longer the future, it's the present. A new report reveals AI is already replacing tens of thousands of jobs every month across the US. In a stunning revelation, an outplacement firm's analysis shows that over 10,000 jobs were lost in July alone. Directly linked to the rise of generative AI systems. AI now ranks among the top 5 causes of layoffs in 2025. Meanwhile, the latest US jobs data says that employers added only 73,000 jobs in July, well below economists' expectations. According to the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report, by 2030, an estimated 92 million jobs will be displaced by AI. The same report indicates that 170 million new jobs will be created because of AI. The effects of AI on hiring are especially evident among younger job seekers. According to Handshake, a career platform focused on Gen Z, job postings for traditional entry-level corporate roles have dropped by 15% over the past year. Meanwhile, over the last 2 years, there's been a staggering 400% surge in employers including the term AI in job descriptions. The ripples are being observed back home in India as well, with India's IT layoffs showing fears that AI is hurting jobs in a sector critical to its economy. Experts have said that one of the biggest challenges for India is AI adoption. The question that lingers is, will job losses spiral, or can new opportunities emerge in this AI-powered economy? With Vishal Vivek, Bureau Report, NDTV World.
Well, shifting focus to other stories, some tragic news in fact coming in. Disaster swept through the Rali village in Uttarakhand on Tuesday after a massive cloudburst triggered flash floods that barreled through homes, trees, vehicles, trapping dozens of people and leaving at least 5 dead. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami on Wednesday held a disaster management meeting at the State Emergency Operations Centre as 5 people were killed in the cloudburst and flash floods in Uttarkashi's Dharali. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also spoke to CM Dhami on an update on the situation and assured him of the centre's assistance. The Chief Minister also surveyed the flooded areas in Dharali and Harsil from a helicopter. The cloudburst somewhere in the catchment area of Kheer Ganga River occurred at around 1:50 a.m. on Tuesday, and the sudden gush of floodwaters slashed rubble buried at least half of the village. Around 130 people have been evacuated to safety as per officials. There have been no official confirmation on the number of people who went missing after the flash floods.
4 such fresh slides. This is actually the biggest one that we have seen. It's still continuing as we speak. And the problem is that since yesterday, it has been continuous rainfall. So what the rainfall does is it seeps into the soil, brings down the trees from the top, and along with it, the whole portion of this mountain with these huge boulders comes crushing down. And there is no way that people can make their way from there on. Let me just try and get a sense from few people, those who are here. आप यहीं से हैं, local हैं आप? कहाँ से हो आप?
मैं चिन्याली सौर से।
चिन्याली सौर से हो?
जी।
तो ये कल से ऐसी हो जा रहा है?
ये रात को हुआ था।
ये रात को हुआ था, ये अभी और
आए जा रहा जी।
वहाँ पर कुछ पता चल पा रहा है दरसाली गांव में और जो उसके आसपास जहाँ पर हरसिल में और जगहों पर जहाँ पे कल तबाही हुई?
हाँ जो दिखाई दे रहा है चैनल पे दिखाई दे रहा है अभी तो अभी
वो नहीं लग पा रहे लोगों से वहाँ बातचीत
नहीं फ़ोन तो नहीं लग पा रहा अभी लेकिन कुछ लोगों को लग रहा है जो वहाँ पे
पता चल पा रहा है इस सड़क पे कितना आगे तक जा पा रहे हैं मतलब अगर ये खुल जाएगा तो आप जा पा रहे हो वहाँ तक नहीं जा पा रहे हैं
वहाँ तक तो नहीं जा पाओगे क्योंकि भटवाड़ी से आगे फिर रोड धस रखी है पूरी रोड धस रखी है जो मैंने सुबह को देखा था जी
So, people know here that it has been a very difficult, in fact, time on both sides of the road. You would see that people are stuck. While, in fact, we are reporting from this very place, let me also bring you how the agencies, whether institutions, whether it is the armies, the SDRF, all of them have been pressed into action.
Shifting tracks to other stories, 2 advertisements by fashion brand Zara have been banned for featuring models who appeared unhealthily thin. A UK watchdog ruled that irresponsible advertisements must not appear again in their current form and that Zara must ensure that all of its images were prepared responsibly. Well, with that, we're slipping into a very short break. Till then, stay tuned and keep watching NDTV.
I've bought cars on finance, so I've made my claim.
My lenders charge hidden commissions. I've made my claim. I could be owed thousands.
I've made my claim.
I've made my claim. I've made my claim.
It's so quick and simple.
You could be owed thousands in hidden commissions from vehicles bought on finance since 2007, even without the details.
I've made my claim.
Trust myclaimgroup.co.uk.
Claims made simple.
Don't let gaps in your travel insurance spoil your holiday. Go without the doubt. Insure and go. Call 0800 198 0198.
As a dad, I know life's unpredictable. It's all fun and games until it's not.
You okay?
I want my kids to always be looked after. That's why I'm not putting things off anymore and protecting the life we've built by calling Smart Insurance.
Hi, how can I help?
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
Okay, you can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000 depending on your age.
Brilliant.
If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And could help my wife pay off the mortgage.
With our Smart Family Guarantee, you'll have peace of mind.
That's good to know.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cashback on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free life insurance quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 977 6797 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
It feels good knowing that your future's in hand. Evlo can offer you a loan from £1,000 to £15,000. Get your conditional decision in minutes.
With II's low flat pension fees, you could retire with more.
Really?
Open an interactive investor personal pension today.
Now that retirement's here, it's time for me to focus on the things that really matter in life, like making sure my family can manage funeral costs when I'm no longer around. Which reminds me.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
No problem. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000.
That money could help cover my funeral costs or be a gift for my grandson. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free life insurance quote today, call our UK team on 0800 881 5090 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
It feels good knowing that your future's in hand. Evlo can offer you a loan from £1,000 to £15,000, whether it's for home improvements, new appliances, a car, or for some of life's big moments. So even if you've had problems with credit before, Evlo looks beyond your credit score and always takes a case-by-case approach. Visit evlo.co.uk to get your conditional decision in minutes. Evlo, your future in your hands.
Aye, aye. Aye, aye.
Good idea. It's never too early to consider my pension options.
With II's low flat pension fees, you could retire with more.
Really?
Helping you get the most out of your pension.
Nice.
So many investment opportunities!
Interactive Investor, a Which recommended SIP provider 3 years running. The II SIP, your personal pension.
Some people think life slows down in your 50s, but I'm just getting started and there's so much that I want to do. And yeah, I'll be retiring in a few years, so it makes sense to plan ahead.